Hey, what's going on everybody? Stefan Pizzuto of Journey Hunts. This week we're back in the kitchen making my wife's all-time favorite venison recipe, shepherd's pie. Stay with us. Okay, so welcome back everybody. Last time we were together, we used a pressure cooker to make my all-time favorite venison recipe, venison burritos. Today we're going to go old school. We're going to go back to using the stovetop and the oven to make shepherd's pie. So let's go over the ingredients first, and I'll also put these in the comments section below. We are going to need about a pound to a pound and a quarter of ground venison. Now, if you don't have venison on hand, that's okay. You could always go with beef. If you want to go vegetarian, you could probably even use tempeh, though I've never tried it, but I'm sure it would work. But for us here in our family, we're all about the white-tailed deer. So I have about a pound to a pound and a quarter of ground white-tailed deer. We're also going to need a quarter cup of milk, a 14.5-ounce can of beef broth. I have College Inn. You can use any brand you want. We're going to need about 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 small onion, washed, peeled, and diced, some olive oil, some butter, some I don't know how to say this, Worcestershire sauce, something like that, Worcestershire sauce. I don't know, you're going to need this. I've also used soy sauce already too when I didn't have any of this on hand, and it worked just as well. We're going to need 2 6-ounce cans of tomato paste, 2 good-sized carrots, washed, peeled, and diced into small pieces, some different spices, and I'll go over these before I put them in, but pretty much whatever you like to cook with is going to be fine. 6 ounces of frozen peas, and today we're going to go the extra mile and we're going to make homemade mashed potatoes to put on top of our shepherd's pie. If you want to do a quick and easier way, you can always just go with the instant ones. They come in a pouch, they come in a box, and just follow the directions on there. But today we're going to go the extra mile. So I have about 3 good-sized potatoes, washed, peeled, and diced into smaller pieces so that they'll cook easier. So I think that's about it for our ingredients. Now that we have those together, let's get started with the cooking. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the potatoes because they take the longest. So I'm just boiled water, and all I'm going to do is put my potatoes in my boiling water and stir them from time to time. I also like to put a little bit of salt into the potatoes as well. I just think it flavors them a little. I'm trying to do this without burning myself here. All right, and then these guys are going to cook for about 40 minutes or until they're soft. And while they're doing that, we'll have time to get the meat and the other things started. So the potatoes are in, and I don't even measure out my salt. I just like to give a little shake. Some salt. Stir it up a little bit, and like I said, I stir it from time to time here and there. But these potatoes are going to be on for about 40 minutes or until they get soft, and we're going to move on to the next portion of the recipe here. All right, so now we are moving on to the next portion. I have a hot pan here, and all I'm going to do is add some olive oil, I guess about a tablespoon. Again, I don't measure it out, I just kind of eye it up, just so that it covers the bottom of the pan pretty good. And then I'm going to add in my onions. There we go. My carrots. And my frozen peas. And all we're going to do is stir these guys, so it doesn't burn, of course. Onions will burn quick, for about 5 minutes until we start adding in the meat and some of the other ingredients. Okay, so next we're going to be adding in our pound to pound and a quarter of ground venison. And again, if you don't have venison, no biggie. You can use beef or whatever you would like. And now the spices. So I don't measure anything out. I guess I learned that from my Italian grandmother. I'm going to do a little shake of garlic salt, shake of onion powder, shake of garlic powder, shake of Himalayan pink salt, shake of black pepper, shake of ground paprika. Come on. There we go. And a shake of seasoning salt. All right. So what we're going to do then is we are going to mix this up real good, let it simmer for a few minutes, and then we'll add some more of our ingredients in. Okay, so I just cooked our little meat mixture over here until the venison was brown. You want to make sure you brown the meat all the way through. So now that the meat is brown, it's time to move on. We are going to put in our beef broth. Again, that's a 14.5 ounce can of it. We are going to do 2 tablespoons. I like to use heaping tablespoons, by the way, of flour. It really thickens up the recipe nice. We are going to do 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, however you say it. 1 good tablespoon of that, and our tomato paste. And then what we're going to do is mix this real good, bring it to a boil, and then cook on low heat for about 30 minutes. By that time, not only should our mixture be done, but our potatoes should be done as well. So we are coming to the home stretch here. There we go with that. And mix it up. All right, so our meat mixture is thoroughly mixed. It is boiling. So all I'm gonna do is turn it down to probably about 2.5 or 3. And we're going to let it simmer for 30 minutes. Okay, so our mashed potatoes are done. I drained them, put them back in the pot, mashed them up real good with a fork. They actually look like mashed potatoes now. Of course, if you did the instant, you don't have to go through all this, but we're doing the extra mile today. Now we're going to add 1/2 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of butter, some black pepper, and some salt. I'm using Himalayan pink salt. All I'm going to do now is mix it up real good, and by the time our potatoes are all mixed and done, our meat mixture should be done, and we should be ready to put it all together and throw it in the oven. Okay, so now that both our potatoes and our meat mixture are done, we're going to be combining the two. So I'm going to start with the meat mixture. All I'm doing is pouring it into a pan, a 13x9 baking pan, baking dish I guess you call it. Just make sure you get one that has high sides on it, so that when it's baking, it doesn't overflow on the sides and make a mess in your oven. So this is our bottom layer. The meat is the bottom layer. Now all I'm going to do is spread it out a little bit here and try to make it as level as I can. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to spoon our mashed potatoes on top. And again, we're going to be trying to spread them out as best as we can to make them level. So I like to go a little bit at a time here till we get them all in. There we go. Nice. And then after I get them all in and level, this pan will be ready for the oven. Okay, so our oven has been preheated to 400 degrees. One thing I like to do before I throw the mixture in though is just add a little extra butter to the top of it. Gives it that little extra buttery goodness. Just Putting some random butter on top. And there we go. This is going to go in to our preheated oven, 400 degrees, for 20 minutes, and then we're done. Well, it looks great and it smells great, so apparently not being able to properly pronounce Worcestershire sauce didn't affect the outcome. Hey, if you guys made this, put some comments in the comments section below. Also, if you changed anything to make it better, share that with us as well. If you guys liked what you saw today, check us out on the web for more recipes, journeyhunts.com. Also, like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Stefan Pizzuto. Thanks for watching.